Hello, adventurers! Welcome to Grognard and Friends, a little D&D live stream with a whole lot of heart. My name is Paul Lucas. I am coming to you live from the secret underground bunker far beneath scenic Grognard Gables. So, sit back, relax, because it is time for you to meet today's eligible adventurers. And here they are! Adventurer number 1... is a rogue with a lot on his mind. He may be short on stature, but he certainly isn't short on ideas. With a quick tongue and a piercing gaze, he's sure to find a weakness in your defenses and go straight for the heart. Please welcome Kellen Scattershadow! Adventurer number 2 may look like a small boy, but he's sure to steal your heart, not to mention your purse. And don't be put off by that large pink gem in his forehead, because he's just happy to see you. Please welcome Reed! And last but certainly not least, adventurer number 3 is a cleric of revelry, and you know what that means. This father sure knows how to party. When he's not knocking heads and knocking them back, he's really just a quiet, simple bachelor with a big thirst and an even bigger hammer. But deep down, just likes pina coladas and getting caught in the rain. Oh, and red wine. Lots and lots and lots of red wine. Please raise a glass and welcome Gaius! So, let's join our 2 halfling thieves and their much taller human father as they walk the streets of Seven Rivers, the first actually large city any of them have ever visited. It is morning here in this part of the kingdom of the Aria, and the streets are bustling. You are headed back to the Stone's Throw, a small inn within the library district of Seven Rivers, where you have secured rooms.
My pockets are a little too empty for a city this size.
You know, it's the way it is here. It's early morning for some people. I tend to, not wake up till noonish most times. So this is actually kind of early for me. Speaking of which, I've developed a thirst.
Okay, adventurers, the streets are busy and bustling. People of all shapes and sizes scurry about. It's a beautiful morning, the sky is clear and the sun is bright, and the beginnings of spring are in the air. But where your usual wanderings brought the sights and scents of budding flowers and trees amid oceans of fresh grasses, here in the city of Seven Rivers, your senses are bombarded with anything but. Around you, you hear native common tongue, but you also hear all manner of languages that surely come from far and wide. You hear some that you recognize, but far more you don't. Most are pleasant enough, though some speak with anger or agitation, with others simply speak in earnest. The manner in which people dress here covers the spectrum and conveys just as much. You see the plainly dressed, looking harried and tired, walking beside those in expensive silks and audaciously colored outfits that strut as if they don't have a care in the world. But probably the most powerful are the various scents that fill the air. There are the typical city smells of sweat and dung, lying just beneath the far more pleasant smells of various perfumes and roasting meats. But seems to be strangely and somehow wonderfully unique to this city of Seven Rivers is that just about anywhere you have gone, the air is filled with mouth-watering smells of baking. Baked breads, buns, and biscuits of variety and manner that you have never even considered, as well as sweets, such as cookies and cakes and colorful pastries and pies. And if you like savory, you can find it baked into pies, onto flatbreads, or alongside just about anything you can imagine. You walk back towards your inn, the Stone's Throw.
While we were out and about, did we spot any sort of work boards, or is there a particular, let's say, a noble who has a lot of traffic coming in and out of their estate, maybe merchants or artisans coming in and out?
You've seen busy storefronts. You've seen all manner of people walking around. You've discussed these things as you've gone along, maybe made a note of a few places to go back. Right now, as you're standing discussing what you're going to do, you're distracted by the ringing of a loud bell coming down the street. And it is the town crier. He's dressed in blue and gold striped silks with a wide-brimmed hat with a large golden plume, and he rings his large bell as he enters the intersection where you guys are currently standing. Oh yea, oh yea, oh yea, this man of good voice does declare these proclamations this day within 7 rivers. It appears to be another bad day of bad news for the citizens of 7 rivers. The child and heir apparent of Lord Caldlow, of the Overlook Caldlows, remains missing for the 7th straight day. As with the other disappearances of child heirs to various aristocracy within the Western Duchies, kidnapping is suspected. In similar but totally unrelated news, more children have gone missing within the Slinks. A connection between this and the recent increase in large rodent problems is being investigated. Also, it was another night of fear and fireworks as more explosions rained down across the city of 7 Rivers last night. Goblin Town, and more notably, a series of back alley storage rooms right here in the library district, were the incendiary targets of this madman. But it is the events of the Overlook, what some call the clifftop districts, that truly has people most concerned. A quick series of explosions ran out last night, causing fires and even the toppling of a building. Those involved remain unknown, though witnesses have stated that it appeared to be an attempted assassination. The target and the success or failure of which are both unknown at this time. And lastly, the increase in rat problems in the districts east of the Overlook continue to escalate. Rats of unusual sizes continue to be sighted and engaged around the city. The Master of Arms wishes it to be known that because of the recent increase, a number of contract jobs have been created. Any and all interested parties should come to the guard barracks found on the northern edge of the colonnade. Also, the Overlook offices of Davenport and Hawthorne, estate agents, wishes it to be known that they have recently acquired a large number of properties within the eastern districts for rent or purchase. May the gods protect and serve our dear Lord Titus Drawn, the Baron of 7 Rivers. Oh yea, oh yea, oh yea! The bell continues to ring as the young man continues down the street.
Did you all hear that?
Yes, my vice like mine grasped all of it at once and will not be asking a mystical god to remind me occasionally what the hell he said.
Why on earth would you ask a god for anything?
I'm a cleric. It's kind of my jam.
Oh, right. Unfortunate for you.
Pointing at my vestments. It'll be for everybody's benefit, believe me. I've patched up a few people who were like, oh, I don't believe in gods. I'm like, well, they believe in you.
Well, hopefully they believe in money. Did you hear about the missing children?
Oh, yes, especially the well-known one, Lord, Coldlow, something like that. Caldlow, yes.
Caldlow, I think it was.
Also, apparently, giant rat problem. Now, the question I have is are the rats giant, or are there just a whole bunch of them? Or both?
Does either one sound appealing?
Well, I'd much rather fight a bunch of small ones than a bunch of big ones.
As you gentlemen are standing on the street corner, a young 20-something gentleman dressed in nice robes comes up to you and says, excuse me, you look rather comfortable around here. Are you familiar with this area?
Oh, not at all, but I will pretend to if that helps. Yeah, oh, yeah. What he said.
Oh, my name's Alfred, and standing behind him is a larger, more muscular human figure in robes. Seems to have possibly even some armor on underneath the robes. which you find strange because you heard armor isn't allowed in the streets. He said, "My name is Alfred, and I was looking for the stones. The stones.
Throw?
Yes.
Stone's
As a
throw?
matter of fact, yes, the stones throw. I'm supposed to meet somebody there, and I become a little lost, as has my bodyguard here. This is Fallon, and you
Hello.
are.
Oh, Gaius.
I am. Oh,
Just Gaius. I have a tendency to run my mouth. Sorry, Kellen. That's
and
Kellen.
I am happy to show you where the inn is for a small fee.
Oh. What sort of fee are we talking about here? That's
Oh, nothing impossible. A silver piece will do just fine.
done and done.
Excellent. Now, if you'll follow me and look straight up, you'll see the sign. Welcome to Seven Rivers. Be mindful of your surroundings.
Gaius does look up. He's like, is there a sign?
Well, there's not one that says Seven Rivers, welcome to Seven Rivers, because you're in the heart of the city. But down the street a ways, you can see the board hanging outside of the stone's throw.
I'll turn to Alfred and I take it you're not familiar with the way cities work, friend.
Oh, actually, I am. I come from the south, from the city-state of Ankmar. I'm used to where I come from, where people are happy to help out a fellow citizen. That's all.
Sounds like a delightful place.
Sounds like a place I might want to visit.
Oh, you should.
Well,
Ankmar is an amazing city.
But considering I have your money, and I would feel just, well, terrible perhaps is an overstatement, but it would perhaps put a damper on my morning to not give you something in return. The inn is just there, and you and your well-muscled, inappropriately armored friend are attempting to meet whom?
Oh, his name's Mr. Angiers, and I was actually supposed to meet him last night, but, well, as you may have heard from the town crier, there seemed to have been some explosions, and when I was on my way to meet him, well, the guards cleared off all the streets, and I wasn't able to get through, so early this morning, I awoke to find a note rescheduling my meeting for about now at the stone's throw, and told I was within the library district, but that's really about all I was told.
Well, it's certainly just there, and whilst I don't know Mr. Angiers, was it?
Yes.
If he's at the inn, perhaps he's waiting for you now.
Wonderful. And you said it's right up the road here.
Yep.
You could follow us, right? I mean, we were heading in that general direction, I think. Still new
That
to
would be
town
wonderful.
ourselves, or at least I am myself.
Keep up and keep that, pointing to the armor, covered.
Oh yes, I got yelled at. Apparently,
Ah,
it was
okay.
a no, as they call it in the business.
You look over and Fallon just pats the clasp on his cloak for some reason and nods to you. And the two of them seek to follow you.
Okay. Is there something special about that clasp? Is it a symbol? Does it look like anything?
It has a gold dragon on a background of blue.
That mean anything?
with a set of crossed swords behind the dragon. To you, it doesn't, but Gaius and Reed, give me perception checks.
Whoa.
Gaius knows. I hope, with that roll.
The dragon on blue is a symbol of the Baron, as a matter of fact.
Baron Titus?
Yes, sir.
Well,
Although
either of them
the
tell me
Baron
that.
symbol does not have the swords behind it, it's just the dragon.
So like maybe a guard or somebody specially attached with military service.
Okay.
So we continue on to the stone's throw, I guess.
Okie
Yeah,
dokie.
take them on.
Sounds like a good idea. As you go along, you find that the streets are busy and bustling, and there are people everywhere. And before you know it, you are located in front of the stone's throw where you've spent a few nights now. You're welcome to go on in. So you gentlemen are headed into the stone's throw. Your quarry, who you have led there, go in first. Fallon doesn't say anything. Borden nods to you and says, "Thank you so much." Hands you, Kellen, hands you your silver piece, and gives you an extra silver piece for the kindness.
Thank you.
Okay, so the two of them disappear into the stone's throw in, which sounds from outside to be incredibly bustling for this time of day. I mean, it is right around lunchtime, but all the times that you've been in there, it has not been anywhere near as busy as it sounds like it is now.
Okay. I want to watch. I want to watch Alfred and Fallon go in.
Okay.
I mean, I'm assuming we've gone in. Do we go in behind them?
You can follow them in, yeah, absolutely.
Well, from a distance, I
we were
want to
coming here
see
from
who
lunch,
they meet
right?
up with.
Okay. They walk in, and Alfred walks up to the barkeep. You do notice the source of all the sounds because the stone's throw is hopping. There's people at most of the tables. Some are having meals like lunches. Some are drinking. Some look passed out like they were drinking quite a bit. But Alfred walks up to the barkeep. Fallon always stays the appropriate number of feet behind and doesn't seem to say anything to anybody. He nods to the barkeep. Alfred speaks to him. You can't necessarily hear what he's saying from where you are. The barkeep nods and points to the far end of the room to a booth in the corner by the door to the kitchen. And there you see a table of three, a heavily cloaked figure in the center, and on either side, two very large humans, also cloaked. And surprisingly, like Fallon, they look to be large enough that either they're incredibly large and boxy figured, or else they too seem to be wearing armor underneath their cloak.
What do the folks of Seven Rivers sound like? They got any sort of regionalism going on?
It's kind of, you're used to it, to what seems to be the native tongue, because you've been within the area. You just haven't visited Seven Rivers before this. You've traveled pretty much within the barony, and that's about it. So you are used to the dialect, which is very common. But the thing about Seven Rivers is, because it is a large city, you do hear accents and foreign languages that you are unfamiliar with, that possibly you can just assume are from all over.
Hey guys, I'm here.
Now shush, we're trying to hear something.
Okay.
I'll turn to Gaius and Reed and just sort of casually lean back towards them both. All right. Which one of you knows something about that crest? Please, one of you say you know something about the crest.
Yes,
No.
the gentleman that is fully armored apparently is working, or at least is associated with the Baron here, Titus, which is probably how he can get around wearing armor. When he tapped his sigil, that means he probably has permission, unlike, sadly, me. So whatever's going on, this person might be from Ankmar, but he's got protection from the Baron of this town. So this might be clandestine, but it's also apparently approved by the Baron. Potentially. It might be good if we could hear what they're saying. I am sneaky right now because I'm not wearing armor.
All three of you, give me a perception check.
Oh, so close.
18. Oh.
Yes, I have a 26.
I think that'll
I
work.
see through the walls.
By the way that Alfred was dressed, you pretty much get the feeling that he is probably a little well off. He's not wanting for much. He's not a noble, it doesn't appear, but they also look like the robes that you've seen people walking around the city in, just of a different color. The ones that lead you to believe that the people wearing them are students of the universities, which are not too far from here. So you've seen the students wearing certain levels of robes, and you see the professors, or people you're assuming are professors, wearing similar robes but a little more ornate, and they seem to have markings on their shoulders and on their sleeves sometimes. And these robes that Alfred is wearing tend to look more like what you would assume might be those of an academic, because there are some stripes around the sleeves and a collar around the throat.
Okay.
All right. Well, probably a wizard, or at least someone who studies magic.
Great.
Getting the vibe.
We need to get
Do you gentlemen,
one of those
is there an
crests.
open table near, not like obviously near, but
Okay, so here is the stone's throw.
I'll lean over to the boys and we need to get one of those crests. Otherwise, well, you're a meat bag asking to be poked full of holes, and we're two bugs begging to be squished.
yes. Hopefully through legitimate means, but I'm not adverse to purloining one. But I associate that badge also probably has paperwork with it that says I work for said Baron. I don't disagree, though. I want that. I want that so I don't die.
Well,
Good news is I plan on going to the smithy later, and I can at least get some lighter armor. I can hide underneath my doublet, jerkin, tabard, whatever I'm wearing right now. Insert sort of medieval clothing here.
Tights.
Vestment.
Tights.
No, nobody wants that. Nobody wants Gaius like that.
And swim fins.
Oh, don't think those were made back then. I mean, it could be magical swim fins. I don't know. It sounds like
Okay.
the wizards would be doing inappropriate things if that's what they were doing with their free time.
Yes.
Okay, so you stand there at the far end of the bar, observing. Alfred has sat down at the table with the with the person in the heavy cloak. The two apparently armored figures stand up and stand on either side of the booth, facing outwards. And the two of them seem to be in some sort of conversation. The heavily cloaked figure pulls from the ground a large satchel, kind of what looks like a satchel that you see sometimes people carrying around for business, and sets it on the table and starts going in it, and pulls out a scroll case, and then goes in and pulls out another scroll case, some papers and a quill, and then sets the satchel now back next to his side. And they continue to talk.
Can I get a seat at the bar near their booth?
You certainly can. You just move yourself where you need to be.
Yeah, I want to try and get a little eavesdroppy action going on. If I can, I'll just sort of nudge past that lightly armored gentleman.
Okay.
Yeah. If need be, Gaius kind of just places his hand on him. Let me bless you, my son, and just kind of like shoves him around the corner of the bar. Your next drink is on me, and it'll taste better too. And then signals the barman. Barman.
He comes down. I
Picture
just
of
picture
your-
the three of you kind of all just kind of going down the bar towards the end there.
Well, it's the only open spot I could see.
He says, gentlemen and young masters, what can I get for you?
Wine for me. I don't know what you wine guys, right?
Oof. No thanks.
Sure, I love wine.
Well, there you go. All right.
You,
why I like
you
it
also
so much.
Assertive rivers brew, whatever it is. What have you got back there? Is that
we
is that a
have plenty
dragon's
of...
toenail? Can I have a mug of that?
Oh, I approve.
The dragon's toenail is especially good this time of year. But
Freshly
we also
harvested.
we have quite a few brews available, barrels, and but then we also have the specialty of Seven Rivers, a wide selection of various spirits. But I'll get you the dragon's toenail, sir. And he goes
Thank
and
you.
goes to one of the casks, and he's pulling it out, and it's a hand-pumped pint, and he sets it in front of you, and says to the two of you, I will get you your wine, sir. We don't get much call for that, actually, so I'm going to have to go back and get some.
That breaks my heart.
I don't want any
But you know
toenail
what? While you're
wine.
doing it,
What?
if it's that much of an inconvenience, just get me a pitcher of your
Okay.
cheapest red.
The
Ah.
wine with grapes. The one made with grapes. That's what. Yeah.
Because I
Not-
want to
not
show
toenail.
you something, sir. I want to show you something with what I can do with wine, and potentially offer you my services, and you might sell more of the stuff because of it.
Is this some disgusting bar trick you're going to show me?
Oh
And
no!
yes, son. Yes, son, it is the wine with grapes. Obviously, you're an expert in this. Kellen, he says, 3 copper for
prison.
the dragon's toenail.
I'll just stack them up, little stack of coppers,
got
and
it.
slide them along.
He says, thank you, sir. He says, I will be back with a picture of our finest economical red.
Oh, I
And
want to
he-
use that from now on.
He goes
That sounds
around
fancy.
and disappears behind the back.
I would like
All
a
right.
jug of your cheapest. It's a bad drunk.
Okay, he comes back out with a large wooden pitcher, sets it down in front of you with 2 goblets, and looks at Reed and then reaches under the counter and pulls out a straw and sticks it in his.
Oh, that's cute. It's got swizzles and stuff in it and swirls around.
Thanks.
Barman, please. Well, what is your name? Instead of me just calling you Barman for this entirety.
Butterbeer, sir.
Butterbeer.
That is a unique name that I will not forget. My name is Gaius, and I happen to be a cleric of revelry, but my specialty is with Bacchus. If you let me pour yourself a glass of this wine real quick. Doesn't need to be a full one. Let me show you what I was talking about.
He grabs a goblet from beneath the bar, helps himself to your pitcher, and pours basically a few mouthfuls into his goblet.
It's like, and then, Bacchus, please hear my beseeching. Make this cheap into at least moderate. And all of a sudden, the wine just glows a little more purple and then glows down. And then I pour myself a glass and drink it myself. Give it a whirl. You should find that it is of a better quality now.
Right, okay. And he takes it, puts it to his lips, and takes a sip. Kind of seems very skeptical, puts it down, and then like his eyes go wide a little bit and says, "How did you do that?"
He's
a wizard.
It's literally my job, cleric Bacchus. About, helping people out. And seeing as I currently am staying at your establishment, I figured I'd show you that I could offer and maybe assist you, Mr. Butterbeer.
Very good. Thank you so much. When we're not so busy, see me and we'll talk about some possibilities. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got quite a few orders to take care of.
Yes, forgive me.
Oh, no problem. By the way, the pitcher will be a silver.
Ah, yes. And Gaius reaches into his pocket and puts down 2 silver. He's like, tip, and at some point I'll need a next one, and I'll get you more silver after that.
Very good, sir. You said it was Gaius, correct?
Yes, Gaius.
I will remember that. Thank you, sir. And he goes off and busies himself around the bar. He seems to be pulling drinks for numerous people. You do notice that you seem to be the only people drinking wine. There's a fair number of brews being consumed, but the general drink seems to be spirits that people are drinking.
Might want to give those a go after I start in on the wine. I forget,
There's
is it
also
liquor before wine or wine before liquor? Oh, God, I never remember
I'm
that.
sympathetically rubbing my belly, just please don't do that.
Oh, you haven't tried. Oh, that's right, Kellen. You haven't really got a good drunk on with me yet.
If I have that to look forward to, I suspect I'll spend a great deal of my time in better boots and nosebleeds.
Right behind you, you hear a voice in your ear, Gaius, say, "I do believe it was something about poker in the front."
Oh, God, Eldred. Damn it, man. Were you invisible this entire time?
No, I was just amongst the crowds.
Oh, gosh. For a wizard, you're very roguelike.
Yeah.
UC says, "Oh, well, thank you," as he takes a sip of a goblet that seems to be full to the brim with some clearish brown liquid that smells rather strongly of maple and cherry for some reason.
Drinking straight liquor?
Is there any other kind?
Well, some of the stuff is watered down. I'm just asking. Mostly I'm just impressed. That's all.
Well, from walking around the streets, I've seen there are quite a few distilleries here in Seven Rivers, so it seems like it would be the thing to have.
Yes, apparently they're making drinks out of dragon's toes. Sounds not good.
Toenails.
Toenails, yes.
No, it's a. Just read the label.
Oh, I don't
Dragon's
read.
toenails. That's what's the word? Oh yes, revolting. You're having the wine. I see.
Oh, well, of course, Eldritch. I mean, yes, I drink pretty much whatever isn't a solid, but, I usually start off with the wine, see how it is. You know my shtick. If they got
This is
crappy
true.
wine, I make it better wine, and then I usually get us discounts or money,
It just seems that around here, most of the wine seems to be of that crappy level because I
Perfect.
all the places I've been, no one's drinking it.
Reed takes a big long draw on a straw and says, Gaius made this really good.
That's right, buddy. Now, don't drink too fast, you'll get hiccups again.
And if you drink too fast, we won't let you have any dragon nuggets.
Wait, they have this?
Basilisk nuggets.
Now the question is it
Cockatrice
made
nuggets.
of dragon, or is it just dragon shaped?
It's like anything that
dinosaurs.
ends. It's like anything that ends in nuggets. What's in it is anyone's guess.
Oh God, yeah. I could only imagine medieval nuggets.
Ugh.
We just took what everybody didn't eat and just fried it and battered it and fried it. Oh, this is delicious. You don't want to know what's in there.
Nah.
They just got really good grinders here in Seven Rivers. Oh my God! Is that what happened to the children? Are they nuggets?
Oh no!
These nuggets are people.
Wouldn't that make them nobility nuggets?
Oh, but there's a bunch of kids missing in the lower quarter too. I did hear that.
Speaking of things we can hear, can we I want to eavesdrop on that conversation.
We'll just assume that Kellen hasn't been ignoring us this entire time and trying to eavesdrop.
It's funny because I was
Largest of eye
wondering.
rolls.
I was wondering how far you were going to go because when you finally remembered, I was thinking of actually going. And so the heavily cloaked figure says, "Well, thank you for coming. It was a pleasure speaking with you."
Great.
It's like, I wonder what that was about. We'll never know.
Okay, Kellen, give me a. What would be a good role for this? For listening?
For reception.
Ooh,
Yeah, let's do
would be
perception.
bad.
Let's do perception.
Perception. All right. Come on. Yeah.
16?
Yeah.
Very good. You make out a fair amount. Every now and then, a word here or there gets lost within the noise of the tavern, of the room. But what they're discussing seems to be. You get the feeling that Alfred is. You're not sure if he's a professor, a kind of the equivalent of what might be the equivalent of a graduate student, or what, but he tends to have focused his life on learning, and that learning seems to have been focused on languages. And the large cloaked figure has a little yappy type dog. The languages, you get the feeling, tend to be. You heard the word ancient mentioned. And ancient languages and tough to decipher. And they've made out a little bit, but a vast majority of it has been unable to be read.
Okay. And is that what they're peering at? Is that like they're poring over scrolls, like the Dead Sea Scrolls, essentially, or they're trying to read, EA
They
budget
haven't.
without it.
The stuff is still laying out before them. They have not gotten to the point where they've done any of that yet.
Okay. Hmm.
You kind of get the feeling that the heavily cloaked figure, it's almost like he's interviewing Alfred and kind of trying to size him up. At this point, a barmaid starts bringing some plates to the bar, and Mr. Butterbeer takes them down to the other end of the bar and hands them out to a couple of the people sitting there. The gentleman at the end of the bar is a tall figure with long flowing blonde hair and a heavily coiffed blonde goatee that seems to curl at the end, and he seems to have thigh high boots with huge cuffs, striped silks of silver and gold, and seems to take great care in himself. And when you came in, you did notice that he had a long rapier on his belt, although it was peace bonded like most of the weapons you see around here.
Okay.
Did he send us these plates?
No, the plates went to him and the gentleman next to him.
Oh.
Who's next to him?
I thought he was giving us food.
The person next to him looks to be a guy, just kind of a big burly guy, but he also has a sword at his side that's peace bonded. And they're sitting at the corner and just kind of chatting. That's kind of about it at the moment. The one plate was filled with a number of roast meats, and the other platter seems to be what you're known as a plowman's. So it's some cheeses, bit of blob of mustard, like a little small loaf of brown bread, and some lumps of brown jellied like stuff that you're not familiar with, and maybe a sausage.
Okay.
That sounds like a charcuterie board from where I'm from.
Okay.
I'll have the charcuterie.
So, but Butterbeard?
Yes, Master Sir.
Can I get the meat dish too?
Oh, you'd like one of those?
Absolutely.
I'll have it put in for you right away. And he walks.
Thank you.
He motions to the. He said, "Anything for either of you gentlemen?"
Sure. Yes. Two more of the plowmen, please.
Okay, so one roast meat platter and two plowmans coming
Yes.
right up. And he motions to.
I'll lean forward and just sort of like loud, like sort of like a regular room speech tone. Another dragon's toenail and a bit of bacon if you've got it. And then as I'm leaning forward, all right, Butterbeer, what's with the Angier's fuck in the corner?
Angiers?
Yeah. Guy over there in the robe. Apparently his name's Angiers. I saw him.
The three of them came in about a half hour ago. I didn't even get their name. They just sat down, and the one in the cloak said to me that he was going to be meeting someone here, and that just to let him come over. I believe the person's name was Alfred that he was waiting on. And that you motion him over to the table when he arrived.
Yeah. Well, we met Alfred on the street, but he looks, a bit posh, yeah? What's he doing here?
Enjoying the fine food and wine. Like yourselves. Other than that, I don't have a frickin' clue. We don't get a lot of nobles down here or people from the Outlook. But your guess is as good as mine. Strange times these days, young man. It's strange times, unfortunately.
Yes.
Did you
we've
hear-
heard of the children or the rats?
Well, it was more the explosions that I was talking about, because one was right around the corner, not too far from here last night.
Oh,
Sorry.
really? That
Tough
is interesting.
upbringing. Sleep
What?
through anything that isn't a dragon.
Pardon me?
I said, sorry, I must have missed it. Tough upbringing. I sleep through anything that isn't a dragon.
Well, that's good. Being that a dragon hasn't been seen in the kingdom for millennium.
Just an expression of where I'm from.
Very good, sir. Very good. He laughs and says, "You are the witty one. I'll get those platters for you." And he turns and he
Thank you.
motions to one of the barmaids, and she runs off into the kitchen. And then he goes about continuing to pull beers and pour spirits for numerous people, and for the other barmaid who goes out to the tables and serves.
Gaius, do you
Yes.
think so Butterbeard sounds like a pirate, right? And the other guy's got real big piratey boots. Are there pirates here?
Okay. Well, just you know what? There are 7 rivers. Maybe they're river pirates. We should investigate that later, my friend.
Okay.
And you know what? Well, is any now that the barman's gone, Gaius is gonna pour a little bit of wine onto the bar and start drawing symbols in it, kind of casually, and he's ritually casting detect magic to see if anything unusual is going on, just to be on the safe side, because this is not the norm, and it's just a casual thing. It's not anything like if he feels like somebody's going to notice him do it, he's going to stop. But for those unaware, I'll display it on the thing, 30 feet. So basically just seeing if there's aura of magic on anything.
Okay.
And if so, a school of magic, if possible. It's not a 100%.
Okay. You cast it without anyone seeming to notice that you're aware of, although give me a perception check, please.
Ooh. Ooch. Even
Doesn't
with the
look
one,
like
still an 8.
anyone's noticed. You seem to be free and clear. Doesn't seem like anyone even has a clue.
It's like, just like slopping it on the bar. I'm like,
Even your friends there, who you are telling what you're doing, don't seem to notice. So you
thinking about
cast
the
that. Of course you are, Reed. You cast that, and you know that finding magic in the kingdom is something that's rarely done, because magic hasn't been seen in the kingdom for ages. Although after the past year, when the comet first appeared in the sky, you've heard rumors that magic has started to reappear in the kingdom. And once you've gone to some of your adventures and now 7 Rivers, you do see that it is becoming a little more regular, especially in the large city. And you have discovered little bits along the way through some of your adventures. But generally, you usually expect not to find anything. So
Yes.
It comes as quite a surprise when you find basically magic appearing there and magic appearing there.
Ooh, all right. Okie dokie then. I do lean over to my two shorter friends, and I'm like, I obviously did this in the greatest of stealth.
Speaking of which, guys, roll me one more perception check.
Oh boy.
Oh, God.
Here we go.
Come on.
Nice.
Yeah!
Hey!
It's the exact opposite.
Christmas tree.
Okay. You feel that you've been so stealthy and so careful that no one is aware of anything, and you are just kind of shocked that you found any of this magic until you look at the end of the bar and the blonde-haired gentleman, as he has a piece of meat going up to his mouth, is just kind of staring at you with his head cocked and a bit of a smile on his face.
The creepy guy checking me out at the end of the bar is definitely aware that I cast that spell. But he's also, he has some kind of magic upon him, whether an item or spellcraft, I am not sure. But also, now, Paul, was it Alfred or his contact that had magic?
You can't quite be sure.
Okay.
Give me another perception check.
Oh, boy. All right, here we go.
All right.
Somewhere in the middle is fine with me. Game.
Yeah.
Hey.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay.
You get
literally-
the feeling that it may not be on either of their persons, or it might be, but you get the feeling it's either something on the table or something on the cloaked figure.
Ah, okay. So this is giving me the vibe of maybe the scrolls are magic items, or potentially a magic item on the contact. Whoever we don't. What was it? Angiers.
Oh, Mr. Angiers.
So, yes. So Gaius just casually relays this to his compatriots. And is the creepy blonde guy still giving me the come hither, or?
Oh, he was never giving you a come hither look. It was more of...
I know that. I know that.
Okay.
That was humor.
Oh, that's why I didn't get it. I'm terribly sorry.
Humor.
He's just looking at you and has a grin to himself. He continues on with his drinking and eating. Kind of has that look like, boy, he thinks he's being real subtle. Kellen,
probably
Not known for myself.
give me another perception check, Kellen.
All right, it is perception check day.
11. Well, luckily it wasn't a very high DC on this.
Oh, good.
In between Gaius slopping his wine across the bar like he's already had quite a few, Reed bouncing up and down in his seat, so excited to get some meat, and drinking from his straw and having a tendency to slurp or bubble as he does it. You do notice that over at the table, the cloaked figure has opened up one of the scroll cases and taken out a piece of paper and is starting to unroll it and push it across to Alfred.
Any language that would make sense to me? Would I recognize
What
the script?
is? Oh.
Or whatever's
well, you're going to have to give me another perception check for that. I don't usually do that many perception checks, but for this, to read from that far, you're going to have to do far better.
Got halfling eyes. No.
You can't make out diddly squat. It looks like parchment with maybe a couple scribbles here and there on it. That's it.
Okay.
Or maybe wavy lines. You're not sure.
Seeing that get brought out, I'll elbow Gaius. Look. Is that magic? Is that magic?
Is it ritual? My detect magic is still ongoing for the next
Yes.
10 minutes. So
Yes.
is it glowing?
No.
Is there a particular school? Okay. Wow, it's like you know what I was going to ask. I said, "Oh, that's magic as hell." Or
And
sorry,
then
rather,
went,
this magic is
nope.
magic is. That's weird.
So
Why
let's-
did I just have that bleed it out?
The guy says it's magic. Does that sound right?
Gaius says it's magic.
Yeah.
Give me an insight check on Gaius then.
Like, guys, what are you doing here? Why are you being this way?
I give him guidance.
It's a little late because he rolled, so
That's
Yeah.
fine.
These rolls have been a little interesting today.
you get the feeling he's telling the truth.
Great.
You also are aware that he's been going at his wine pretty heavily since you've gotten there.
I spilled half of it on the. Well, not half, but a little bit. I'm fine. I know what I'm doing.
After like getting this, just like a second and like munching on my little bits of bacon that would have arrived. I'm assuming by now.
Not quite yet, but you see the barmaid coming from the kitchen with a large tray with about 4 plates on it, and you assume that might be yours. And when she stops
Okay.
at the corner there, and Butterbeer, who is a rather portly gentleman with an apron, a leather apron over a white shirt with the sleeves rolled up, and rather large arm muscles, and basically bald except for some tufts of hair over the ears. He starts handing the plates out to you and some cutlery.
Okay. Just tearing through the bacon, sort of like furrowed brow, and just turn on the stool to both of them. This is getting us nowhere. If we're going to get one of those, we need to get the right sort of attention, and those gentlemen seem rather occupied with whatever's on that page. Unless, Reed, you plan to steal that, we might want to get outside and get moving.
Do you want me to steal that, Kellen? I could. I mean,
No, shh, no.
but I stick some meat in my mouth.
That
I don't know if we necessarily want to incur the wrath of the Baron of this town. Just saying. First
no,
big city I've been
don't
in.
steal
Don't feel like getting
that.
thrown out. You said it kind of funny. Why'd you say it like that?
Don't steal this roll.
Bacchus,
Please. don't
Bacchus,
steal this
damned
roll.
rogue.
I'm only suggesting
I'm-
that we need. Well, perhaps we should take a look at one of these things. We know what's important to the Baron, right? Of the barony. There are children missing, children of rich
Yep.
families.
Correct.
We find one of them. We might be able to work our way into court, and then who knows? But
Yes. I don't believe stealing the first thing that isn't nailed down that we that has ties to the Baron would be the appropriate thing to do. Listen, I'm not
Yes.
averse to purloining things, but you don't piss off the guy in charge if you can't help it.
Plus, they're
Besides-
probably all pirates. So we don't want to steal from pirates.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Pirates. Jesus, man.
fair point, Reed.
Oh.
The thing about rich people is they love to feel helpful. Did you catch that bit with Alfred earlier? 1 silver in my hand just because he couldn't be bothered to pay attention to his surroundings. This is how we'll get ahead.
Oh yes, we need make ourselves useful to the get coin in our pockets so we can then blow it on whatever we want. Wine,
Or at the very least,
women,
a badge on your chest.
a special badge so I can not get the crap beat out of me so quickly.
And we could get more plates of meat.
Though Gaius is a very large human being. I can handle my own. Just, it's kind of hard to punch through, and he kind of looks over at the guys guarding Alfred. Is that half plate under there? Full plate? That hurts like hell trying to punch into. What's that, DM?
Oh, nothing. Please go on.
No, no, you were going to give some free info.
Nah.
All right, I'm going to proceed. What kind of armor
I
is
dropped
hidden
that
under
gold pace.
No. Hey, would you like me to? Would you? I want to insight check you, Paul. I don't think you're telling me the truth.
I seem to be telling the truth.
Oh.
I still don't believe you.
DMs have a very high DC.
I'm trying to perceive the armor that is being worn.
Okay.
Well,
I'm just wasting all these 20s.
There you go.
checking them out.
It might be plate. It might be plate. It might be some other bulky type of armor.
But definitely
You've seen
heavy.
different. It's definitely heavy. But on top of it, I mean, these two guys do look rather large. Their frames look large to begin with. So, and the cloaks, like the person sitting in the booth, are basically huge, all-encompassing cloaks with very deep hoods.
Okay.
So it could be plate, or they could just be really large, stocky guys wearing something that, obviously is forming out their shoulders and such, like armor does. But it definitely looks like they're wearing some form of armor, and the possibility of plate is there.
Okay. Yeah. Don't want to mess with them. Gotcha. Definitely want to take them from ambush and outnumber them, say 3-1. Understood.
They go clink clink when they walk.
Yes. They are not sneaky.
Well,
So,
I'll begin
Did
go.
did we want to look for kids? We could find kids, right?
Well, there was... you got to phrase things better sometimes, Reed.
Well,
Gotta phrase
lost
things
kids.
better sometimes.
The lost kids.
says the character that looks like a small boy.
Yes, we want... Bait, potential? No, wait. That's a plan for another time. Yes, I think it was up the northern edge of the... what was it? There was the guards up there.
Northern
of the colonnade. Yes, I couldn't read colonnade in my handwriting. Apparently, the north edge of the colonnade.
You and Reed have actually been to the colonnade.
I now remember that I've been to the colonnade.
It was the large, flat stone area at the base of the Overlook, or the Clifftop district, down not too far from the docks. And there were some kiosks of people selling things. You saw quite a few guards walking around. So
Yes. Okay.
you're pretty sure that's what that was.
Well, if we wanted to take that up as a job, I know where to go, and apparently Reed does too.
Can we set about finding Lord Artlow's brat? child.
We
With an eye
we
roll.
could.
Oh, correct.
I understood, and I probably will agree with you once we meet the rat or child. Parasite depends on your view of children.
Children
But
are wonderful.
So
Come on
much
now.
for being a child-friendly stream.
I never agreed to that. This is Gaius speaking.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, no, we could definitely. Lost kids is definitely a thing, especially finding the more nobly born ones. At least will get us more street cred. Or if we find some of the lower ones, we'll feel good at least.
Mm.
Do you think the badges are something you can earn, or is this
I
like
would
you have to be a noble?
Oh, no, I think what you do is you have to cut the head off one of the badge holders, and then you absorb the powers, and then you get the badge. Yes, you earn them. It's a story
For a
I heard
second.
when back in my
Okay.
hometown. It's called the Highlander.
For a second,
Got
you'll
it.
catch
Cut the
Kellen
heads off
like,
the badge people. Got it.
tapping his fingers along the like hidden blade in his sleeve and going, "No, that doesn't make sense."
It's a story. Oh God, story. Sorry.
Mm.
That doesn't
I
make
will
sense.
preface it next time. Story or joke.
Kellen,
Damn it.
you're finishing your bacon about now. It's really nice, thick cut bacon, some of the best you've had.
Oh yeah, I'm stuffing 3 pieces, like the remaining pieces, into some parchment and pocketing it
Okay.
as I like sort of like wipe my mouth from the last one down the dragon's toenail and just like,
The second one.
shall we? Yeah.
Yeah. Gaius also just kind of like into a bag, just scoops, like takes one of the plowmans and just kind of like dumps it in there and like ties it off. It's like, yep.
No problem. And Reed, you made a little bit of a dent in this big platter of different meats and sausages, none of which you know what any of them were, except that they were incredibly tasty.
There we go.
I see
I'm taking
people
the rest with me.
and rat.
If we're leaving, I'm taking it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everyone's bagging up their food.
Gaius settles the bill and leaves a tip.
Okay. Butterbeer says, give me 5 silver. We'll call it square for everything.
All right. I got this one,
Since
guys.
you're staying here.
And Gaius clinks down the silver.
He says, but just a piece of advice for next time. If you want to take the food with you, let me know. You don't have to put it in your trousers.
I
I'll
didn't
get you.
put it in my trousers.
Oh, I just saw you scraping it off. I'm sorry.
Well, now that I know that there's an option for a bag to go, I will let you know.
Very good. I'd be happy to do it
Listen.
for you.
Listen, I am not from a fancy place. They usually don't offer that.
You don't say. I would never have known that, sir. You look... I thought you were nobility.
I believe you're being sarcastic right now, and I appreciate that.
You'll have to excuse me. I have other customers. I'll be right back.
Uh-huh.
And he smiles, winks at you, and then goes and starts pulling some more beers.
Why do these men keep hitting on me?
It's your modesty,
I don't.
obviously.
It's because I'm so handsome. I don't know.
So, what else do you do at this point? Because you notice that the... go on.
No, yeah, please. We noticed that the...
Kellen, give me a perception check, please.
Oh boy.
Perceive.
Yep, it's perception day. No, today has just been rough with these.
You notice that Reed has like a blob of mustard on his upper lip.
You might want to. You've got to. It's just.
I take a
Wipe
piece
your
of
face,
meat
man.
and just.
No. That's gonna leave a
Yeah,
rash.
yes, he is delightful. Just wonderful. Some of the finest people I know. Looking around, does it look like Alfred's business is concluding, or is the
Okay.
creepy blonde guy doing anything?
Roll me another perception, just because
Oh,
it's
sweet,
a
sweet
mobile thing.
baby Jesus.
The chain of perception checks.
No, I don't want to. I don't want to persuade.
17.
Okay. The blonde gentleman at the end of the bar does periodically look at you guys. He does seem to make a keen eye periodically at Reed's forehead with a quizzical look. But more importantly, you do notice that when you looked over to the table, the parchment that had been laid out is not there anymore. The heavily cloaked figure is whispering to the guard standing right next to him. And the guard then comes over to the bar and motions for Butterbeer, who comes down and starts speaking to Butterbeer.
And do
What's he
I
say?
or anyone hear that? With that 17 I already have.
Which end of the bar is this?
Right there.
Oh, right there.
Oh, I see. All right.
Just shoves that drunk further down.
No, that's actually that is Fallon.
No,
That's
Fallon, like the other guy.
Okay, so the guard kind of leans into Butterbeer and says, it looks like some of the business is about concluded, and Mr. Angiers would gratefully like the key to be able to conclude the final part of the business that he had discussed with you. And Butterbeer says, I'm terribly sorry, sir. I don't know what business you're talking about. Mr. Angiers only spoke to me briefly at the beginning. He says, you didn't receive, someone wasn't in here earlier this morning talking to you about this meeting? He says, is this the one about needing a private room? He says, yes. Ah, I'm sorry. I didn't realize that was Mr. Angiers. Terribly sorry. And he reaches under the bar, hands him a key, and says, I'm terribly sorry. It's right over there. And the person turns around, walks over to the table, leans forward, whispers into Mr. Angier's ear, and turns around and heads to this door over here.
Okay.
At which time Angiers and Alfred get up and start clearing things off. And it's at this time that you all three start hearing, and people start screaming from behind you, and you notice things start to hit the cloaks of Angiers, the guard, and they come to pretty close to Alfred as well. And people are getting up from the tables all around and screaming. And give me a perception check one more time, all three of you, please.
Perceive. This is where I
Steal the
won't
bacon.
roll a 20.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, 13.
Okay.
Highest is 13 on that one.
Oh boy.
Okay, who had the 13?
Gaius, of course.
Guys, okay.
I'm really good at a few things. Terrible at everything else.
You notice that a lot of the people are getting up scared. You noticed a number of people are running out the front door of the inn. Some tables are getting overturned. What you do notice is from a couple of the people running out the door amidst the crowd, in their hand they have something that looks like is obviously something that doesn't belong here. It looks to you like a couple of them might be carrying crossbows. And just as you're noticing that,
Oh. Scrambled eggs and cheese.
and these gentlemen start coming at with clubs.
Well, poop.
This looks like party time for me.
And they start engaging with each other.
Gaius just picks up
who
the
do we
pitcher
stab?
and just downs the rest of it real quick and then slaps it down on the bar. He's like, well, I didn't think today was going to be exciting, but apparently it is.
Time to earn that medal.
What is your armor class, Gaius?
Currently it's because I can't wear my chainmail, right?
Right.
Yeah, it's a 14.
14? Okay.
Yeah.
You don't get hit with a weapon, but the large person right there bangs into you with a heavy clinking and clanging, and as you're trying to down your wine, you find it spill all over the bar and yourself.
Oh, God, that's a waste of maybe a third of a silver, but still.
Oh, the horror.
Bacchus, forgive him. He knows not what he does.
Can we get involved here?
Okay,
Yeah,
let's.
time to earn that medal.
I look up at Gaius. Who are we stabbing? Which ones?
What makes these individuals stand out? Are they all uniformly dressed? Do they all have cloaks?
Are they not?
They
Not
actually
in metal
look.
armor.
They look like commoners. They look like
Kill all the
farmers.
commoners.
They look like farmers. They look like nobodies.
Save the rich people, kill the rest.
Okay.
We got some like veiled inheritance stuff going on.
Okay.
I'm like, protect the bodyguards and the other people we sort of know of.
Basically, they're going to be going, and then it'll be Kellen's turn. With these clubs, they have clubs, but the two guards pull out very large swords.
Oh boy.
And the other guard pulls out a sword as well, more long and thin, but still a sword, whereas the other two seem to have broadswords. They're swinging around wildly. There's even more screaming going on because the people in the bar who were still trying to get out but were kind of blocked by this combat or just shocked and seeing what's going on. These clubs and swords swinging around come uncomfortably close to a number of the people who are still in the bar. The clubs that are hitting the guards are making huge clanging sounds and everything. The guards seem to be hit a couple times. This one seems to just drop dead. And now it's Kellen's turn.
Okay. Poor lads never stood a chance, did they? All right, so I'm assuming the armored folks are friendly. Are we calling them friendly now?
I have no idea. You have no
We
idea.
will not be attacking them. Yes. Because obviously, I mean, at least from Gaius's perspective, he has seen that somebody tried to assassinate another person. So he labels the people that tried to kill another person bad people, and we'll sort out the rest later.
Okay.
That's
I
where I'm
will-
going to go with it.
Turn around on the bar stool, and Han shoots first. This guy. With a crossbow.
Okay. Oh, that easily hits.
All right, let's roll that damage. 13.
Anything else?
Yes. I'll shout to Gaius. That one looks hurt, and give him advantage on his next attack.
Very good. And will that be it?
That's it.
And Gaius, it's your turn. You do notice a what looks like a number of little blips of light that seem to go swizzle in and out of the two cloaked figures in the clanky armor, and hit number 2 pretty significantly.
Good job, Eldred, wherever you're at. Gaius wants to turn and look back because he saw that Angiers looked like he took some hits.
Yes.
How bad does he look? Just from a cursory observation.
This is going to sound weird, but give me a perception check.
Wah.
Perception.
Okay.
18.
What you noticed is that they head down here out of sight.
Oh, so they're not visible anymore.
Correct. But with that roll, you did notice 2 things. One, that he didn't seem that injured, and the other, that from somewhere this guy starts following after.
Ah. Then Gaius, with his bonus action, will cast Spiritual Weapon in right there where that bit is.
You got it. Right about there?
Yes, that's good.
You got it.
And with its casting, it gets to attack
Get advantage, not that you need it.
with advantage. Well, hey, you never know. It might be a 20. No, it certainly isn't. All right, so I'll roll damage. That's 10 damage to numero cuatro.
Okay. Okay, and what form does your spiritual guardian take?
My spiritual weapon takes the form of looks down at a bar stool and just turns into a bar stool and just bludgeons the guy in the back of the head.
Okay.
At which point, with his primary action, he is going to need you to make a wisdom saving throw of 15.
Okay, for which one?
For number 4.
Oh, okay.
The one that
Yeah.
just took damage.
12.
That's a failure, so it's going to take a d12 of damage. That's 5 more necrotic damage. Oh, sorry, wait, hold on. I think I have a thing for this. Go to... Where's my soundboard? There it is. And he just looks at it and just kind of like snaps his finger, and then
You see
I
people
assume
look
the guy
around
just,
and you see people look around and look all up in the air and everything for where the sound of this loud bell came from.
Gaius just whispers under his breath. He's like, magic. Not really. All right, so that was my action bonus action. I'm not moving.
Okay. Reed.
All right. Reed will.
Wow.
I think he's going to
No,
stab.
no, whoa. What? No. How did that just happen? All right. Reed is going to attack. Where is it? There we go. A 14
On number 1.
on number 1.
That hits. Number 1, the skull, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, God, Reed.
Yes. Yeah, no.
Guy's just, he goes to stab the other number 1, and Guy's just hit checks him. He stabs the other guy.
No. All right. Ooh,
Nice. That's
well, 17 points of damage.
Yeah, it's in there.
Goodness.
Nice. That's real nice.
Number 1 drops.
Yeah.
Got him.
You hit him with what weapon are you using?
Short sword.
You swing and it goes across his chest and just blood starts pouring out and you see his eyes roll back in his head and he falls back and falls over the table and just falls to the ground and everything just goes spilling everywhere.
Very nice.
Delicious.
All right.
Nutritious.
And then Reed shall use cunning action to. Well, actually, I can just use a move action at this point. I shall move over there and. And then he's going to get his crossbow out.
It's their turn. Number 2 swings and does this amazing hit across the side of the head of number 1. And the character just kind of goes down. And you're not sure what, but he's on the ground.
No.
And is basically rolled over here. The second guard, the other 2 guards have both been hit this round, but they don't look to be hurt very badly. These clubs are, one of them has basically a piece of pipe, and the other one actually has what looks like a wooden club that looks like it's kind of basically a thin log that was kind of whittled down at one end to create a handle.
He's got a cudgel.
They're uncivilized brutes.
Okay.
Oh, where are you going? What do you think he's doing?
And Kellen, it is your
Yes.
turn.
All right, seeing that guy make a run for it, I'm going to leapfrog across the bar here. Parkour over Gaius. And put another bolt in the back of number 2 as he's trying to get away. If I can hit him.
Okay.
Oh, you hit him.
Yes,
That
you
was
hit
an
him.
actual natural 20.
Dirty 20.
That's 4 points.
Okay.
Oh, no, you got the sneak attack, right? 8. He doesn't
No,
know.
he's not.
He's running away. You don't.
Yeah, he's not within 5 feet of an ally.
Okay.
And I didn't have advantage.
Okay, anything else?
I will give Reed advantage on his next attack. Like, cut him off, Reed!
Right, got it.
And you good?
Yep.
Okay. Gaius, sir.
All right, I'm going to actually use a move. I'm going to move there. Do I see number 4?
No, but you see the door there's a door right here that is open, but just a crack.
Okay. Well, spiritual weapons got a move speed of 20, so 5, 10, and as it pushes open the door because it's unlocked, so it doesn't need.
Right.
It can't obviously manipulate anything, but it can. It does. It is physical, so.
Barstool
Okay.
to the door.
Yes, my mystical bar stool. I don't see anything though, right?
No, the door goes open and the bar stool's kind of blocking your view.
Let's say it's 10, and then it drops down here.
Okay.
I can't. Gaius has already moved his 25 feet, so he's not moving any further. So that's what
Okay.
I can see for the time being.
Right.
So spiritual. So Gaius just turns and looks around. He's like, can't do anything about that yet. Looks at number 5. He's like, wisdom saving throw, please.
Okay. 1.
No.
Ding, ding.
Yeah. So. That'll be 7 necrotic damage on number 5.
7 takes his hands and covers his ears. His eyes roll back into his head, and he just seems to crumple to the ground.
Nice.
I look it over at number 2. I don't actually know if you're a person, but you're welcome.
Anything else?
Moved. That was my action. You know what? I do have a bonus action. No. That is the end of my turn.
Okay.
Oh, wait. No. You know what I can do? I will cast on myself Shield of Faith.
Bling.
And what does that do?
It just bumps my AC up too.
Now, Reed, it's your turn.
All right.
Finish him.
Let them fight.
So I kind of rush between the tables here,
Uh-huh.
and then taking a careful aim there at Mr. Number 2's back, I will take a shot at him. With advantage. Ugh.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh, God.
a screaming
rolled it.
patron got in
It
my
didn't
way.
roll. Oh, it did it twice. Okay, so it's the 10.
They did
They
it twice.
twice,
Yeah.
yes.
They
So
were just both awful.
you take an aim as the guy's running through the front door. You fire, and the bolt just lands in the door jamb to the left of him as he bolts out the door with it slamming behind him.
All right, and then I will use my cunning action to rush over to the door.
Basically, the other guard goes to his friend. This one starts running towards you, Gaius. You notice it's Fallon. He's running right towards you.
Okay.
And he tries to get by you.
I let him by. I'm like, Fallon, I saw someone following Alfred.
He nods to you.
Not a
and
good
then
person.
and then heads out. The blonde-haired gentleman is behind you, Reed, and says, "Are you going, young man?
Yes, we need to catch that guy.
Then let's go." And so the two of you run out the door?
Yes, I admire his boots.
Okay.
And he was never seen from again.
He's the guy kidnapping the kids.
The kids. You look too much like a child, Reed. Stop following people you don't know.
Okay. Reed, give me a perception check, please, as you run out into the street
All right.
with this tall gentleman.
All right. That'd be an 11.
11? Okay, that's good
Yes.
enough. You notice, looking up and down the street, people who could possibly be the person who ran out the door going into alleyways, one to the right up about 1 building's worth, and one to the south about 2 buildings worth. But with that roll, you see people run through there, but you're not exactly sure which one it might be. So it could be either one. And as you see that, the blonde gentleman says, "Which one do you want to take? I'm not sure which one it is, so if we split up, that's probably the wisest thing."
Okay. I go, I'll take that one, and I point to the one on the right.
You got it. He says, "Very good. Meet back here." And he runs off to the left.
I hope Eldred's out here.
Gaius yells back, "He's not! In fact, know exactly where he is. I'm looking at him."
Your spiritual weapon's done or still going?
No, it's still going.
Okay.
I just moved it out of the way so I could see better. Like, it's sitting over here somewhere.
Okay. Very good.
Spiritual weapon lasts as long as the combat's lasting, and I'm assuming we're still in combat.
Okay. So, with that in mind, Kellen, what do you do?
I can see that they're splitting up, and I figure they've got it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come over and I'm going to start. I'm going through these bodies on the ground.
Okay. The 2 large guards, the one is helping up the other one. He appears to have been maybe knocked unconscious, but he seems to be coming to, and his compatriots helping him up as we speak. The other ones are rather unremarkable. They look like average people. They aren't wearing any armor, other than like leather jerkins and such. But the ones that you see have different forms of clubs. And we'll say that, so when you're looking at the bodies, what exactly are you looking for?
I'm rummaging through, like, do they have any scraps of paper that would have said what they're doing here? Do they have any defining tattoos or marks? And also, like, the usual, swag. Do anybody packing an heirloom?
The guy sweet stuff, magic weapons.
Okay.
Anybody packing an heirloom ring, a necklace, locket of their sweetheart?
You go through all of them. You find basically in purses, you find the equivalent of with all of them together, 30 copper pieces, 17 silver pieces, and 3 gold pieces. And you find like a couple of them have old rusty daggers, but most of them have these clubs of different forms. It's almost like each one, there's nothing uniform about any of them. Like if you were to put them all and say which of these go together, none of them look like they both got their stuff from the same place.
Okay.
You could buy a lot of meat with that money.
Uh-oh.
What?
You could buy a lot of meat here at the bar with that money.
No, I heard. What?
How many gold did you say that came out to again? 5? 3?
3.
I'll let the guards know. One went down, or one went out that way. The other one out that way. And,
Okay. You do hear whistling, like a blown whistle outside the inn being blown, and you do hear the sounds of commotion outside, and you do, in the distance, hear the muffled sound of someone saying, "Make way! Make way!"
Great.
Uh-oh, what did
I'll
Reed
straighten
do?
myself up. Straighten up my garments and turn to the 2 guards. And I'm like, all right, boys.
They look at you, go, "Yes." They, as a matter of fact, say, "You'll excuse us. We have to find our quarry." And they basically start going out the back way, where they're where Mr. Angiers and Alfred seem to have gone. Okay, Gaius.
Gaius is, pardon me, excuse me, stepping out through here. Where does it look like people have gone?
There is a door right there.
Mm-hmm.
And once again, it looks cracked and opened, but it's not like wide open. It's there's a gap.
Gotcha. Once again, Gaius is here. Spiritual weapon is getting out here somewhere.
Okay.
Do I hear anything like, "Oh God, they're killing me," or stuff like that?
Nope. So do you follow the guards out?
Yeah, I'm following the guards, like wherever they're. Like, you know what? If I don't hear anything, and then I guess I'll just Can I use my primary action to? Can I double move? Is that a thing? I forget.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So Gaius is gonna just take another turn.
Okay. All right. I haven't put anything here, but I'll describe everything to you. This is
Okay.
obviously a back alley. There are crates and barrels out here, some stacked, some tossed. There's a building across the alley with some double doors. It's, typical back alley with a fair amount of garbage, but also like some crates and stuff that you're unsure of. But what seems to be the most striking aspect is that guy that you saw run past after them.
Yeah.
Him and 2 other similarly common-looking people are on the ground, obviously dead, and they have big burn holes in their chest.
I didn't do that one. I mean, I helped start at least one of those.
And there's even still little wisps of smoke rising up from them. Or it could be steam, you're not 100% sure.
Were they to the north or the south of the door, these bodies? I'm assuming they came charging after.
Okay, so you have one
Angie
here,
and Alfred. Yeah.
one here, and one over here slumped between some crates.
Okay. Is there any sign of where the 2 being pursued went?
What you do find is you find some crates have been knocked over, obviously. Give me a survival check to see if you can figure out anything where they went.
Yep.
Well done. Okay. So from the nature of the things that have been knocked over and disturbances in the mud and everything, they look to have probably headed this direction and then around that corner, then continued on around that corner. So basically,
I turn around to the guards and I'm like, this way, I think. And I think I have
Okay.
like one movement left. So I take a step.
Eldred is on his knee examining the wound of the guy who's fallen between the crates. And he looks up at you and says, "Gaius, this is powerful magic. I can't do anything like this."
Is he still alive?
He goes, "If he is, he's going to have he's going to be keeping nice and cool from the large hole in his chest."
Okay, so no, that's all I needed.
I'm going to deal with Reed. You went to the right, correct? You went to the right?
Yes.
Okay. So your
you
little
describe
legs,
that as one block down, right?
correct. Your little legs take you a block down, and there's an alley between a couple of buildings that you duck down. You do. We'll say that you do a double dash, and you're running as fast as you can. When you go down, you continue on. Give me a perception check to see if you see anything.
All right. A5.
You have no idea where he went.
All right. I'm going to assume he went the other way, so that's... I would turn around at that point and
Okay.
head out. All right.
Okay. Where are you heading?
If I don't see anything going on down the road with the other guy, the blonde guy,
Okay.
then Reed will go back in the bar.
Okay. So when you come back out, the blonde gentleman, you can't see him, so you assume he probably went down that alley,
Right. Okay.
which is now three buildings away from you.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I'm gonna go back at the bar. I'm gonna meet
Okay.
my friends.
You got it. Kellen, is there anything else that you would like to do at this point?
I'll see Reed come back in and say, I'm going towards whatever horn that was. Near all the commotion. I want to hear see whatever guards or whatever that was. So where did that happen? Out front?
Okay, so
I didn't see anybody coming, Paul.
when you came back further up the road, you did hear a commotion and the pounding of feet, and you did hear, "Make way, make way, make way,
Okay.
city guard."
All right, and Kellen, I think I saw those people coming. More guards.
Great.
They'll probably think we did this.
Of course. Well, let's leave him to it then. And I'll head out. Let's try to catch up with Gaius.
Okay.
Try to catch
Kellen and Reed, make me a perception check before you go.
Perceptions. Oh, come
Okay.
on.
I got a 9.
And then he bumps my die onto a 20.
In the real world, we count that.
So 9
Okay.
was the highest.
So you guys run past the bar, past the booth where the gentleman was, through down the alleyway into what's obviously a kitchen with a large fireplace and tables and cookware, out the back door. Gaius and the two guards are gone. Eldred is busy going through 3 bodies that each of them have a stunningly large black hole in their chest that's still kind of smoking slightly.
Ooh. Eldred, was that you or Gaius?
This certainly wasn't me. And this was done before Gaius made his way out here. He went that way, by the way. And he points, like when you come out the door, it's to the right, and then at the first intersection to the left.
Okay.
Okay.
Gaius, what was your survival roll?
It was a 25.
Very good. Okay. You follow the footprints of two men running. They go around the corner, they go down to the next intersection, and you notice that they stop there, and where they stop, you see a bunch of hoof prints and carriage cart or wagon wheel tracks leading away into the crowded streets.
Yeah, they're gone.
Yeah, I turned to the two guards. I'm like, gentlemen, looks like you're the person you were protecting, and his fellow got into a carriage and has made it away from here, I think.
They just kind of nod and they say, which direction?
And what direction was it heading in, Paul?
Yeah, you point, it kind of heads towards the marketplace. And so they start kind of trotting, about as best as you can move at a speed with heavy armor. And they clang like a son of a bitch.
You guys need a hand?
If you want to come and help, that would be welcome.
Guys turns and looks around. He's like, shit. He's sort of like, do they know how to read? I'm pretty sure Kellen knows how to read. Does Reed know how to read?
I mean, I'm probably
That'd be-
caught up. at this
That'd be
point.
fun. Yeah, does the rest of the party catch up? At this
They
point?
can catch up if they. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
we
catch up-
would be
you-
rushing
You
now.
know, Eldred says we're going.
You catch up to Gaius, and as you turn the corner, you see Gaius standing at the intersection with the road, and you see him pointing down the road, and you see the two heavily cloaked guards start moving down that way. And you see Gaius call after him something, and you hear some mumbling in response, and then you just see Gaius's shoulders slump and his head go down. And then you arrive with him. And the last
What is
thing
it?
you hear from his mouth is him going, oh, shit.
I made a casual asking of, hey, do you guys need help? And they said, yeah, sure. And I'm like, oh, shit. Quick
They're
party,
not waiting for
quick-
you. They're continuing on.
Yeah. Quick group meet. Yes or no? Do we continue to help? These people seem powerful. Might want a favor from them. That kind of thing.
Mhm.
And they're,
And they probably have
Sounds good
badges.
for me.
Yep.
I'm okay with this. So we'll keep following those guards.
Let's do it.
hmm
Okay.
And seeing as none of us are wearing heavy armor, I assume we easily catch up with the two.
Yes.
hmm
And even more of a reason to catch up to them is they've gone about 2 intersections down, and they're standing there with their hands on their hips, kind of looking around, kind of going, well, which way should we go? Well, what about this way? Well, why would we go that way? I don't know. What way do you think we should go?
Oh, box.
Great.
All right. Another survival check from me, Paul.
Sure. Disadvantage with this one because it's the middle of an intersection. There's a lot of traffic. There are carts, there's wagons, there's hansom cabs, there's tons of people walking around.
All right. The lower of the two is 12.
Okay, you might have some ideas of where they went, but you do know that it's probably a shot in the dark at this point.
Guys, and I point in the direction I think they may have gone that way, but I don't know where. I would assume they went back to wherever your master lives. Are they heading in that general direction?
That's a possibility. It does look like it could be heading towards the outlook, which is you guys have heard of it as the Clifftop District.
Yes, where all the wealthy people live and look down on the poor.
Exactly.
Gotcha. Or as I like to describe them, us. It's like I make a general. I point on the street that's heading toward Clifftop. I'm like, it looks like they might be heading this way, but it's so busy now. I'm half guessing at this point.
Okay, he says, well, we'll just take a shot and go there. Thank you for your help. And they turn and they move on. Just kind of walking now, not running anymore.
Name's Gaius. I actually stay at the place where that happened if you guys need help again. But hi.
They don't turn around, but the one raises his hand and says, thanks.
Oh, well, you know what? That was worth it.
Gee, that was
I'm
swell of
happy I
that
helped.
gentleman. I'm so glad I met him.
Let's go back and loot those bodies real quick.
Been there, done that. Nothing
Sure.
special.
Oh, well, okay.
Ah.
No +3 magical weapons.
No, I wish.
Disappointing.
Okay, so you head back. What do you do?
Is the place crawling with guards now?
Okay, so you go back the way you came?
I don't know if we go through the back door. Well, let's go check on
No.
Eldred. He is a member of the party.
Okay.
Yes.
Eldred, you come back to the back alley and Eldred isn't there.
That tracks.
Assuming he's gone back inside or.
He's probably standing behind me invisibly. Right, Eldred? Sometimes he doesn't talk.
Scholarly interest, he probably went back in to talk to the guards.
Perhaps. Yeah, so I guess let's not go in through the back entrance. Let's go in through the front door.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. So you go down, there's an alley that goes down either side of the building. And you go down to the end of the alley and you come out of the alley and you notice quite a few guards at the front entrance. Just standing there, kind of looking, not allowing people in.
Delightful.
Do we want to involve ourselves in this, or should we just wait until this blows over? You know what? We do want to talk to the guards about jobs, though. They did come to us. We don't even need to go to the... whatever the C word is, I keep forgetting is.
Colonnade.
Colonnade,
Well, if we want to
yes.
see about
C word.
Lord Odlow's child, who's gone missing among the others, maybe we pay a visit to his estate.
We could. Though I don't know if we have the rep to do that. I mean, we are just... the barkeep described us as looking kind of homeless. I don't know if they'll necessarily allow us to see a lord. The guards might. I don't know.
As a
Is there anything
since-
with... Yeah, go right.
I was just gonna say, as you guys are deciding, Reed will pull some meat out of his pocket, offer it to you, Kellen.
No.
Oh.
That was
No thanks. I've got bacon. This
okay.
is-
It's still warm.
It's been in my pocket.
Well, the juices have picked up other detritus from your pocket.
Did you want some, guys?
Yeah, I never turned down some free meat.
Okay.
It's like, oh. I
So
think there's that pulls out like a copper piece. Oh, must be yours. You don't want that shit sitting loose in there.
okay, so you're at the corner there, looking at all the guards by the front door, and now you're munching on some meat and talking about it. What else do you do?
Do we want to approach the guards and just let them know? Because, I mean, a bunch of people definitely saw us there fighting.
Yeah.
They'll probably want to talk
the
to us.
enemy of our enemies is our friend, right? So
I don't know if anybody's our friend yet. I think that's what we're trying to do is make friends.
okay. Well,
I mean, the guards seem to like me. Yeah.
Well, yeah. As we get in closer, yeah, I'll start to sort of
Perceive.
creep around the periphery of like the crowd of guards. Is there anybody among the guards who looks particularly important? You know, a guy with a red feather. You know, a couple extra chevrons.
There's 3 guards out front of the door, one on either side of it, and one standing in front of them. None of them have any markings unlike the others. So you're sneaking around?
No, I was just sort of walking around the periphery, keeping my distance a little bit as I was watching.
Okay.
Trying to scope the guys out.
Okay.
And then I'll come back to the group and maybe we wait till this blows over.
Kellen, when you were looking around and keeping your distance, what you did notice a couple people try to walk up to the bar and they got turned away rather brusquely by the guards.
Yeah, it looks like we're not getting in anyway. Everyone's being turned away.
Well, then I guess there was some shopping I needed to do.
He's just covered in grease
he
from his
stabbed a
meat.
dude in the neck. No, he stabbed a dude in the neck.
Yeah.
You're still not sure if that's part from the guy who he stabbed or if it's just he's a sloppy eater. The meat was
That's
rather
why we
rare.
give him straws.
If we get back to the inn, I might actually take a bath. Who knows?
Well, I would assume we'd come back a little bit later once it's a little bit more calmed down.
Okay, so you're going to walk away from the inn?
Yes, unless somebody else has a different idea.
Okay. Well then, we will deal with that next week then.
Hey.
Okay.
Very good.
So, thank you very much for joining us. This was our first episode. We hope that we can only get better and work out all the kinks, and we hope that you'll join us. So tune in next Sunday, same Grognard time, same Grognard channel, same Grognard bullshit. Good night.